everyone, Mr. Drescher here with Hi everyone, Mr. Drescher here with Ms. Shah. She's going to be demonstrating Kato-san while I give a little bit of a tutorial over it. We recently went through a little bit of a makeover for Kato-san. So this is our first degree black belt form. So for those of you that we're labeling as the classic version, very minor tweaks have been made to it for a couple different reasons, but ultimately this is our new version of Kato-san that you can start practicing right away. So we're going to start feet together, Chario, Kyang Yang, and then for Chunbi for Kato-san, we shoot our right hand out so it's on top. When we bring the hands back towards us, the right hand slips underneath, and then we go feet apart and shoot out low. So then you end up with your left hand on top. Shotgun. From here, we're going to drop our right foot back into a back stance. So go ahead and step into the back stance. And then we're going to do a twin block. So what this is right here, this is probably going to hear a lot of shocking noises. It's very dry and smooth today. We're going to take our right arm and bring it up. Left hand's here. So it's about the spot where a pseudo block would be at. We're going to turn the hand inwards so our palms are facing the same way. These two hands are parallel with one another. From here, she's going to shift to a front stance with her left foot. Right foot turns. This left hand is going to come up. It's on an angle. So with using the South Belgian school as an example, we've got a corner there, corner there, corner here, corner here. So this left arm, the elbow, is going to the back left corner of the room. Her fingertips are aimed at the front right corner of the room. And then we want to put our forearm about head, a bit above head level on that angle. The right hand is coming in and chopping. This chop is also at a 45-degree angle, so if you think about a pseudo block hand having that straight line, we're just rotating the wrist. That way the hand itself is on a diagonal, boom, chopping down at the side of the neck here. From this position, she's going to step up with her right foot and feet together. For the fold for the chop, her right hand comes above her left shoulder. The left hand pulls back to the rib. I'm sorry, I'll first bring the left hand over to this side for the fold. Then she's going to pull the left hand back, okay, as she chops out with the right hand. From this position, she's now going to just pull back into a fighting stance, side kick, land, feet together. She's going to fold her left hand on top to the shoulder, right hand on bottom as a fist. Bottom hand's a fist, good. She's going to turn over her left side, stepping into a front stance. Chop with the left hand. This goes in a straight line forward. Sometimes when we do Kato-san, we get a lot of people that I call it wiping the table. Looks like they're wiping across the table, cleaning it. So we're chopping forward, boom, switching over and punching with the right hand to finish. From this spot, we're going to take our left foot's going to kind of stay where it's at, so it's going to kind of spin around a little bit. She's going to turn over her back leg, her right side. So the right foot moves as she rotates and does a fighting stance towards, here's our mirror, here's where the judges are. It's to the left side of the room, okay? She's got her right hand in front, left hand's in back, pull to the ribs, and right foot's going to side kick, land, and immediately fold into our pseudo block, okay? So those of you that know the classic version, you'll see a lot of similarities. We've done some transition changes from going from one direction to the next. From here, she's in her pseudo block. She's going to fold back for her chops. This right foot is going to step up in front to a back stance as she chops. This left hand is then going to pull back to the ribs into a fist. And then again, this is going to be at that 45-degree angle. From here, she's going to continue to, real quick. We got to make sure we pause here. Sometimes we get a lot of people that just kind of swipe through right into the chop punch. So we're putting a big emphasis on pausing here for a moment, defining this technique, then finish, spin, chop with the left, punch with the right to finish, okay? From here, we're going to do what's called a twisting fighting stance. From here, she's going to take her right hand, fold on top, left hand folds on bottom, folding for a fighting stance just like you normally would. What's going to happen though, she's going to twist her hips towards the mirror. So the legs go a little crisscross that way, and then she pops out the fighting stance as she then side kicks, boom, up and landing in a fighting stance. Real quick, just because we've got multiple different forms. So we want to make sure we fold this way. I know she kind of swung the arms up, but fold here, pop there. Too many forms. From here, you're in a fighting stance, by the way. Okay, from here, yeah, it used to be a pseudo block. We land after the side kick, landing into a fighting stance. From here, we're going to lean, skip front kick, spear with the right hand, land and punch with the left hand, and then punch with the right hand to finish. So it's a skipping front kick, spear with the right hand. When your left foot lands on the floor, that's when your left hand punches, and then your right hand by itself has that final punch as part of the double punch. Left foot's in front, and you're finishing with your right hand punching. From here, your feet stay the same. She's just gonna side block to the mirror. She's now going to just turn her hips, so she's in a front stance to the mirror, punches with the left hand. Now this is where she's gonna twist. She's gonna twist and side block with the left side, and then come back out into a front stance, left foot in front, and doing a butterfly punch. Something to note here that I see a lot of times, because yeah, your body's facing this way, but think about where the attack's going at. That's where the bad guy's at. So sometimes we get people doing a butterfly punch, and they're looking this way, but punching that way. That doesn't make sense. So punch and look in the same direction. From here, she's going to step up with her right foot into another front stance as she twin punches. Boom. This is all, by the way, we have not gone on any angles yet in terms of techniques going on an angle. This has all been, the first part of the form was going forward. Then we did a few moves to the left side. We did a bunch of moves to the right side. We came back to the left side. We have not gone on an angle. Sometimes I see people go on an angle with their twin punch. This is still going that left straight direction. No angles yet. From here, now we're going to go on an angle. This is one of few times that we turn over our front leg. Normally we always turn over our back leg. So she's actually going to look to the left, but she's going to turn over her right side into a back stance as she chops with the right arm. Boom. And again, this is going on an angle. Bam. When we fold for chops, typically in this form, it's a lot of chops into punches. So whichever hand's going to do the chop goes over the shoulder. That way it's a straight, boom, line of an attack. And then the non-chopping hand, because it usually ends with a punch, folds underneath towards the underneath the armpit on the side of the ribs here. Boom. From here, she's in a back stance. Now she turns the hand, shifts to a front stance, and elbow strikes. When we do this elbow strike, we want to have our hips squared up, and we want to create like a box with our arms. So we don't want the elbow sticking out further than the other. We want to have these two equal with one another. Let's check in. Got it. Okay. From here, the classic version had a spin hook kick that would be next. We scratched that. So from here, she's just going to bring her hands up to a fighting stance position as she back leg axe kicks, boom, landing in front. So that's the left leg that does the back leg axe kick. And again, you land in front. From here, you're kind of in just a neutral position for a moment. After the axe kick, we just went at an angle to the back right corner. Now we're going to fade back and go to the back left corner of the room. Again, saying this is our judges or this is the mirror. Going to that corner next, back left corner. She's going to drop her left foot back towards this corner as she X blocks towards this back left corner here. The whole X, Y, Z thing, we scratched Y and Z. Just didn't feel they were as important of a letter. You hardly ever use them. X. From here, I say X-ray a lot, so that's why we kept it. From here, you're going to bring your right foot back to a cat stance. As your right hand immediately chambers to the ribs, your left hand has a fist and goes right over on top of it. So it's like you're knocking on a door, both hands knocked together. Boom. It's not here like some of us might remember from, what would it be, Wanjun-Yang or Shin-Jin-Yang, that kind of stack. So this isn't a stack, we're chambering. And now she's going to land into a front stance with her right foot as she punches with her right hand. This is just your normal front stance punch. From here, that was on an angle. We are done with angles for a minute. She's gonna go directly to the left side of the room. Should say the right side, sorry. So she's gonna turn to her left, which would be the right side of the room, and side block. From here, she then shifts and punches. Now, earlier, next thing we're gonna do is go into a horse stance. Classic version had, press blocks and all this other stuff. We scratched some of those. This is gonna step forward into a right foot, comes up in front into a horse stance. And then we bring the arms up. So imagine like a double block. We start in a double block, already out there. And then we're tracked in for a twin inside block, okay? So inside block like we do for the gold belt shirt grab, boom, boom, boom. It's the same inside block, doing two together. So I bring my hands out, fingernails away from me. That way I get that rotation, boom, to strike in here, okay? Not super close, let this project. It's the same angle that you would have with a normal side block or a pseudo block. Just fingernails are towards you, given it's an inside block. From here, we're gonna go back to the back left corner of the room. We're gonna turn left hand, this is gonna go straight into a front stance. So shift into a front stance, chop with the left arm, punch with the right arm, right hand folds on top, left hand folds on bottom, twist, fighting stance as you side kick, land. Now normally you'd kick and land right where you were kicking at, but we're gonna land a little bit more to the left side, which is more towards the back of the room versus on an angle. Here, and then drop into our low block. So our left hand is in a knife, palm away, sink into the stance, into a back stance, and then from here we're gonna shift to a front stance, grab, and twist and pull, finishing move. We drop back, Chun-Li, Choryu, and Kyogen. That's for Kato-san, sort of the new version versus the classic version. So let's start working on that one.